Welcome back, everybody. Oh, we got a good spin today. It's appropriate that we got a good spin today. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to, I feel like it's been a while. I know I like to inject some temporality in here because it doesn't make any sense on YouTube, which is a place where time does not exist. But we're going to do it anyway. I haven't gotten to do a quick view in a hot minute. We've been doing a lot of junk, and that's not me saying that I don't like doing junk views. I love a junk view because more often than not, you're going to get something out of a junk view. You're either going to be pleasantly surprised or you're going to be like, yep, turns out junk is junk. So today, instead, we're quick viewing. We are quick viewing, and this was, did you see the little hand fly? Oh, I did it again. Much requested, and I am lucky enough to have had a Canyon member drop by the Canyon bearing these in their hands. Yes, it is the JConcepts Megalithic. And we are going to test it. It is JConcepts green. How do we know it's JConcepts green? Because we know. We are testing them on the foams included by JConcepts, as is the way it is done. And this is not a JConcepts medium, ladies and gentlemen. This is softer. This is somewhere between a medium soft and a soft, and we're okay with that. We do what we always do. We already have 3 of these mounted. So I already know what it's like to mount them. You don't know yet. I have said, in my head, perhaps not to you personally, JConcepts has a very steep hill to climb here, okay? This is the opposite of a junk view. A junk view, we either go, yep, it's junk, or we are pleasantly surprised. A JConcepts offering has a lot to prove, basically. Because we know what JConcepts green can do. We know what a Tusk can do. We know what a Rupture can do. We know that JConcepts is capable of producing some top-of-the-line tires. And I'm sure that frequent viewers and visitors to the Canyon have just noticed there was no bubble juice harmed during the mounting of this tire. And I would go so far as to say that this might be the easiest to mount as he pops a bead out. I spoke too quickly. The other 3 of these were the easiest to mount JConcepts tire. We'll blame red light fever there. They just fell together. So if you don't go too fast, and you make sure, there we go. If you make sure you're actually in the bead, you can mount these really easily. And the foam is a little oversized, a little floofy. So it tries to get into the beadlock rings a little bit. Didn't have a problem. Other 3 mounted up. No problem at all. These tires are directional to the degree that a Tusk is directional. Which is to say, modestly, nominally. These will be mounted in the direction that seems appropriate as to be forward, which I will show it to you once these last few screws are tightened, and we will have all 4 mounted. Then before we head out, we will talk a little bit about some gamesmanship, some game theory that I have in regards to the Megalithic. There is your Megalithic mounted, no problems. They feel mad sticky, as pretty much every JConcepts tire does out of the package. That's a thing. They've got that shine to it. We would be remiss. They are 122, which is like a smidgen over 4 3/4. Like, so 4 3/4 is right there. I'm trying to 3/4 is 4 13/16. Now that's not going to be the on the ground height. These are gonna smushy smosh. Oh, width 45. Now there are 2 entities that I think we need to talk about when we're talking about the Megalithic. That being the Tusk and the Rupture. You have heard me. If you've heard me say that what is one of my great wishes is a Rupture in a normal size, 4.65, 4.75. I would still like to see a 4.65 Rupture. This, to me, looks like they took these two and put them in that thing where they mash Pokemon together and they make crazy Pokemon out of it, whatever that thing is called. You put these two together, and like a magic trick, it goes zoop, and then you have this. And here is my gamesmanship theory. Here's my theory that JConcepts. So this tire right here, much like the Rover that preceded it, this is an auto ban when it comes to Circa. You can't have, what is it, bar-shaped tread like this. Uneven bar, whatever. There's some terminology that basically outlaws tires of this type. As far as I am concerned, the Megalithic is way more of a Tusk than it is a Rupture. So this is another Tusk, as far as I'm concerned. Like, if I can never pronounce it right, I have always said H.R. Geiger. It might be Giger, the guy who did all the artwork behind Alien. This is if H.R. Geiger drew a Tusk, in my opinion. Like, a little spaceshipy. So, it has behind it, the Megalithic has to bear the weight of expectations. And those expectations are that this tire is going to be every bit as good as, if not better than, a JConcepts Tusk. And that is a steep hill to climb. So, Megalithic, which is both a great and terrible name at the same time. You know what's a good name? Tusk. What's a good name? Hunk. Rupture. I would have to say, in the scale of naming, of the JConcepts naming scale, Megalithic's got to be down at the bottom. Like, I would even prefer Scorpio. Bounty Hunter. Megalithic? I mean, okay. We'll see. So, they don't have to live up to the name, per se. They have to live up to the name, though. This is a JConcepts tire. My expectations for you are unnaturally high. Two things can happen here. They prove me right, or they prove me meh. And we've yet to see a JConcepts prove me meh yet. So the hopes will remain high as we head out to the course. And my brain is going to have to fuss and fight. We are going to grab that whiteboard, and I am going to have to fill it out as I go, because it's just been junk views. We've got the 12 stations of the Canyon tire test protocol. And God help me, I have to remember what all 12 of them are. So maybe we can remember them together. First test, here we go. JConcepts Megalithic. As 311 once said, don't let me down. Don't let me down again. The drive back is the drive back. It's JConcepts green. It doesn't really matter what the tread pattern looks like. It's going to throw stuff all over the place. These were shiny and black a moment ago, and now they're matte and tan because they're going to pick and flick everything off the ground and just throw it everywhere. So what do I expect here? I expect a Tusk level of performance, and I will accept nothing less. We should just go straight at the bean, and we should just go like that. Like, they're freshly dusted. The course isn't cleaned off. These should have the absolute amount of grip, and they would appear to. We're doing JConcepts things here. Little pull to the side, come across. Little stutter judder there, but we're operating in tenths of points right now. If the Megalithic fails to put up a 9 on everything, I will be taken aback, let's say. A little more that way, yep. Get the bumper clear, then we cut back. We see, oh yeah, I mean, we got plenty of steering. If, honestly, at this point, what are we in? 90 seconds? 90 seconds in, you could blind test me, make me drive it at a distance, and again, it's fulfilling that prophecy. It's definitely more Tusk than Rupture. This is a Tusk with some crazy tread on it. Get me over. Yeah. More side bite. It's a little more bitey on the sides than a Tusk, but like, what did, oh, self-right. Ooh, too much. That doesn't reflect on the tire. I was not quite expecting that amount. So we'll give it another, just a little parting shot here. De-dusted. Yeah. Clean them off a little. And again, every tire's a little bit better with break-in. Every tire's a little bit better if it has an insert that's more like custom fitted to it. But nonetheless, because of this, oh, yeah, prove me wrong. Get that 1/10 of a point. Get it. Yeah, I was going to say 9.6 because of that little bit of hesitation. 9.7 Slick Rock performance. We're coming out of the box, right? Like, I don't forecast any big falls here. Coming off of a 9.7, I will accept nothing less than an absolute kill of this line. How about this pull here? What do we got? It wants it. Ooh. Okay, I'm getting a little spicy. Just a little too much spice on it. I don't want to see any movement to the left. And ain't gonna be. My goodness, that was, my goodness. Now, single stage open cell. That is maximum 4 drive. These are really hitting on the steering here. These are really hitting on the steering. Coming over to the pull-up, I expect only good things. Ooh. Yeah, that's... It's like, I was going to say 9.8. I said 9.7. I said 9.7. Is that another 9.7? Is that back-to-back? I feel like it's back-to-back 9.7s. If you ask me if I forgot about the crack part over here, yes. So, it's been a minute. Give me a break. Yeah, they love a low. Oop, nope. Okay. They love some low. Whoo. Little shuttly. That could be a wheel way. Oh, get up there. Nope. Okay. Woo! Yeah, let's do this. Just gonna keep bashing at this. This pull right here to the right-hand side, that right there. That ability to move the little snoot over. Whoo! So we are definitely looking at directionality / positionability more in line with a Rupture. We would definitely need some front weight. The front end feels super light, and as baseline has no weight added up there, we're asking the tire to do stuff that the rig can't do. So for that, obviously, we will dock no points. Nope. They are sidewall grippy. Like, it's getting me in trouble. But you know I love me some side bite. Let's see. As I said, definitely not a medium. Like a medium soft, more towards the soft. I'm not seeing any roll. I was not seeing any roll to the sidewall there. And maybe I shoulda. Maybe I woulda, shoulda. Side hill is going to be the weakness of any single stage. It's just how it is. We'll try to keep the nose a little bit higher, try to keep it a little planted. Yeah, I can really push the front end up. Yeah, it just cuts. It just cuts loose. That insert is soft. So there's only so much we can do with that. These have drive, like a mental amount of drive. I think they do need a little more weight on that front axle to like maximize that drive. I want to see right here, then we'll cut back. That's outrageous. But We have to be fair here. We've got to call it what it is. You are sacrificing something for that bit of forward drive, and I gotta say like a 9.3 on the side hill, purely brought about by the insert, but it is what it is. Like, we can't take $50 in inserts into account. We get into some rarefied air here. Oh man! No, we gotta go again. Low speed over this pull-up is the achieve. And with the amount of forward drive, right there, with the amount of forward drive we're getting out of these, that should not be unexpected. Let's see how those softies do. We'll take it slow. Yeah, they will give way on you. So you are going to get a ton of forward drive. An amount of forward drive that is almost excessive, like you would want to dial some of this out in exchange for a bit of wildness. Now, I understand. Compy guys, now, did I finish the thought during the intro? I want to say that this is the H.R. Geiger Tusk because they don't want it to get banned. They want a tire that's Rupture-esque, but skirts that ban. And, you know, I'm going to say, it looks like that Pokemon Masher, Tusk and Rupture, but it drives a lot more like a Tusk. It just does. Now, the foam could be impacting that, but this is how Quickviews work. We test what we test. We almost made this without bump right here. See that little hop? It's because that foam is very soft. Little tiny hop, we're right there. So the positionability is super high. The positionability is Rupture level. And then right here, eminently maneuverable, which would give it at the beast. I can only go as high as a 9.7. It flirted with a 9.8. As expectations are supernaturally high, I expect nothing but a magnum opus of a performance here on this sidewall stuff, even with half the tree trimming for the day done. Right here we pull here. We've got a ton of grip. Get that belly off. Get that belly off. Whoa, okay. Bad positioning. Bad, not behind the wheel, bad positioning, but pulled a farther left cut than most would or could. Just gonna stay in it. Yeah, like his turning circle is unnatural. High caster, let's say. His turning circle is really tight, and these are tightening it up just that much more. I'm feeling more than anything the lightness in the front end. Oh, just the positionability is. Oh, that right there, here at Oblivion, that's a solid 9.8. That's 9.8 all day. Just aim wherever you want to go. Do I expect any issues at all here at Daphne's on hard side or soft side? We'll put that right there, and then we'll go like that. No, I expect the opposite of any issues. Soft side. Actually, little over compression in the rear there. Little over compression. Turning circle of about the size of a manhole cover. When did the soft side become the tough side? Man, oh man. We got a 10th going here. You're losing a 10th. There you go. He got his 10th back. As we said, the tire test protocol scale does not go to 10. There's no such thing as a 10. You'd have to be perfect at everything. Kind of stops at 9.9. That right there, perhaps not the unheralded king of forward drive, but in the conversation, up there with X2SS, this pattern mixed with this compound acts even softer than it is. So the drive out of them and just stop on the ledge. So with a medium soft, let's see this angle. Wow, yeah. If forward drive was a purely identifiable category just of its own, like if we were doing something boring like a friction ramp, I would put it in a 9.9 forward drive. Yeah, see, this is what a good bump looks like. You get a little kick if you get a little too heavy into it, but it's just straight. Like the rig stays in line, like it's on a rail. That's what we want to see. So at Daphne's third, that's a 9.8. That's every bit as good as a Tusk / Rupture combo oughta, shoulda, coulda is. And on bumps, again, like a 9.8. Like as basically as good as you can get. Now we have to try to do this. Oh, too stable. Too stable. Too far. Now there is so much. Well, that's pretty good. I had to think. There's so much drive. See, I could do it. Try reverse. Oh yeah. That's the speed secret, everybody. The hot ticket. Oh. Part of me wants to give it a 9.9, but I can't. Because there will be situations where if you're not on, like he's on loose over hard right now, for those of you who know, among you that know what that means. If it's too hard and there's too much grip, he's just a rocket ship that goes wherever he feels like he needs to go. That said, that's a 9.8 self-right. That's a 9.8. So these are pretty squared off. I don't think we're gonna see anything unexpected here. There's so much grip in them. They really well and truly are the Pokemon combiner collision of a Tusk and a Rupture. I just like, hey, the biggest drawback to these tires is, I think, the name. Maybe there's something to it. Like they've got something in the background, like it means something to someone. But I don't want to bring up the name of like a skin disorder that other things have been named after. I don't know. Like, was no market research done? I'm still hanging up on the fact that this tire is the cross-pollination of a Tusk and a Rupture, and the name we ended up with is Megalithic. I thought the Fossil from JConcepts was bad when I first heard Fossil. I've changed my mind. The Fossil is a great name when Megalithic is taken into account. Megalodon, that would have been a pretty good name. There's something already named the Megalodon, isn't there? There probably is. It can't be that all the good names were taken. There's a lot of drive in this tire. These are going to do fantastically. If this surface was wet, these are going to do great because we've got big spaces in between the lugs and they're going to clear. We're going to get wet here in a second, and I have no reason to believe these aren't going to do every bit as well as every JConcepts has done prior. Transitionally, there's so much drive, and you will be able to adapt that drive. They're not going to sink in to soft surface. Like, I can turn around on very loose dirt. We had enough to do that see if I can do another one. Like that amount of pull right there, try to straighten it, That right there, there's so much traction that your ability to transition surfaces is going to be unusual compared to anything else. But we don't want to get too crazy. We're going to make sure the heads don't get too big. So I'm going to put it at a 9.7, which, if we're talking about a tire in numbers and you feel like 9.7 is taking something away, I think the tire is doing pretty well. So we were left with but two things to do here, which is wet traction. Yeah, see, how is it that if a tire starts great, it gets a little better on slick rock as the time ends, and if it starts off terrible, it doesn't get any better at all? You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, to bring up a phrase said by people that died 100 years ago. We start somewhere near the bottom. Oh, we're sideways. Let's just go mental here. There we go. Could it be wetter? Not really. We've got a little stream forming down here. Megalithic in the wet. Like, was that, there might have been a moment of hesitation. Let's twirl it in the water here for a minute. Make sure it's good and wet, because that was over the bean, no problem. Get that lip over there, right of it. Yeah. It drives almost exactly the same in the wet as it does in the dry. So what did it get? I'm picking things up now. What did it get in the dry? 9.7. Now, see, again, I feel like we're being unfair with a 9.7. So as a person that somewhat prides themselves on the ability to do arithmetic in their head, if it's PEMDAS, I'm all over it. I tried to short the Megalithic's 1 point. It scored 9.7 5 times, 9.8 3 times, and a 9.3 just once at the side hill. Side hilling is the weakness of an open cell single stage foam. That came to a total of 87.2 points over the 9 tests that it was given. You divide that by 9, you get 9.68888 repeating, which is a 9.7, which is not surprising because the 9.3 just turned all the 9.8s into a 9.7. I could have actually done that without getting out a calculator and just could have looked at it. I think the 9.7 is absolutely fair, and I want you to take into consideration, if you will, for your consideration, that this tire just scored a 9.7 average across the board on, and I'll say it again, hopefully for the last time, open cell single stage foam inserts. You put something 3D printed in there, you put a Canyon custom in there, you put something in there, that side hill score is going to come up. You're probably going to lose a bit of forward drive in some situations, but in some situations, I feel like the forward drive, I don't want to say it's excessive, but the forward drive became really noticeable. Like it was standing out too much. I like the Fossil, for instance, because it is a tire that has a very rounded traction profile. The Canyon Trail is much like that. The forward drive in this, you could get to a 9.9 forward drive with the right amount of stuff in there, but I think some stuff is going to start to come back and bite you a little, potentially too much of a good thing. We may have a tire that is too much of a good thing. It is a Tusk and it is a Rupture mashed together to create the terribly named Megalithic, which performed every bit as well as I think people would have hoped that it would. And it did. It's a JConcepts tire. I'd run them. I wouldn't run them on him. I mean, you can be a 9.7 and still not be the tire that I'm going to pick. These would be the tire for some Toothless. Toothless would get these. Like, that was fingers, not wrist. But for you, those of you who hate it, one more. Yeah, that wasn't finger snapping. That was wrist popping, everybody. So a 9.7 and a solid 9.7 at that. And I think if you throw your expensive over-the-counter inserts in there, I think you're going to be maxed out. What time will tell is if Sorka just decides to ban them. Look at that back tire I just noticed. Look at that. You want to talk about squishy mushy? We're talking about it. There it is. If you have anything that you want to talk about in the comments, questions, comments, or concerns, please do post them in below. Unless your comment is run them backwards, because no, maybe, I don't know. No, these are borrowed. I won't be able. These will be gone by the time you see this. These tires are gone, so I can't run them backwards. But if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please do post them below. Likes and subscriptions are 100% absolutely free of charge. All they take is a click or the tap of the finger or whatever implement you might be using to activate whatever screen you might be watching. Consider channel membership while you're at it. Why not? Go crazy. While you're going crazy, in between now and when we meet again, please one and all do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We will catch you next time with whatever test or shenanigan we might be up to at the time. Some people have requested like a longer form thing about building obstacles. Maybe we'll get into that. I don't know. I don't know much beyond what just happened right now. I will see you all in the next one. And as a parting shot right now, not wisdom from Texas, not anything to do with the traditional Midwest goodbye here in the canyon. I just have one thing to say to you all. Trench.